Please help me welcome to the stage the director, John Carluccio, producer, Tracy Hopkins, and Mr. Maurice Hines, Mel Johnson, John Manzari, Leo Manzari, and Charles Randolph-Wright.
I tell you, it was very to watch. I miss my brother so much at this time in my life. I'm sort of lost without him, because we always said that when we got older we were going to be sitting in rocking chairs talking about our life, and I just seeing him. He's so beautiful and so wonderful to me, and so smart, and it's very hard to not have him with me. I think I told his son Zachary, I'm lonely without him. I feel lonely. It's an interesting feeling, because I'm not a lonely kind of person, but just him not being able to be there, and I can pick up the phone and just say, hey Greg, what's happening? And I'm doing this, how you doing, Maurice? You need anything? Just that stuff that brothers do. You know, I'm lost without him, right? And I'm so grateful to have the friends that I have, and they're here, and they know me. Mel Johnson. Now Mel really knows me. I mean, what was the first gay bar we went to, Mel? I think it was Keller's. Was it Keller's? Jeffrey Thompson. You know it was Keller's, right? But they really know me, and they accepted me from. I mean, we just had a good time. We had a great time in Philly. Oh baby, Philly was fierce. I ain't gonna tell you why, but it was fierce. Well, I'm not giving you the mic now. Okay.
I have one of my own. But it is, as you've all seen, it's as they say, it's a wonderful life. And all of us are just so grateful to be a part of it and to be able to share those wonderful moments. I'm going to, Charles, say a couple of words.
The thing that I said in the film, I think we all acknowledge. He never wants to accept credit for who he is, what he's done, how many of us are out here that he gave all of this to, right? And so, Maurice, this is to celebrate you, and I want young people to be able to see, because they don't see our legends. We don't have them. Things aren't done. And John and Tracy, yes, what you guys have done by putting this legend, it's in history now. Now people will know who you are. And that's what matters.
I'm so grateful. Yeah, I have to say, when I did Guys and Dolls, and Charles was the director, and he was so wonderful to me. He was so wonderful. He was patient, and he knew I hadn't really done any theater like that, a lead like that. And Nathan Detroit has the book of the show. I couldn't believe I had to learn all that stuff. And he was so wonderful, and he taught me so much. You're always learning in this business. I don't care how long you're in it. We had great teachers, and I'm learning to this day. I'm learning till this day what to do and what not to do. And one of the great lessons Gregory and I learned, we had the great fortune and the great luck to open for Ella Fitzgerald at the Flamingo Hotel in Las Vegas. And Ella said, I said, how are you feeling, Ella? She says, I always feel great. I got 2 shows to do. I feel great. And that's how you walk on the stage. I don't care if they have a sore throat, you feel great. Because they don't have to come see you. They don't have to be here. So when they're here, be grateful they're here and give them the best show you can. And working with Charles, that's how he directed. He gave everything to us on that stage. I can't say enough about him. And Mel is my best friend, and he knows me really well. I mean, we're really good friends. I'm not going to say anything about
John, I have a question for you, John. How did you come to Maurice?
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, 'cause he'll just throw all the praise everywhere, and he will not take any praise. But this is for you. So, I met Maurice, a friend of a friend. Excuse me. Introduced us. We had lunch or something like that, and then he's like, "Great, just go for it." And I'm like, "Don't you want to know more about me?" You're like, "No, I like you. Let's just go for it." And then I'm like, and then I would send you some clips and links, and I said, "Did you watch it?" No, you're good. Let's just do it. So it kind of took off, and it was we did this kind of in a bubble in a way, because it was just like, Maurice has got this guy following him around with a camera. What's going on, so. But I just love the story about, first of all, the brotherhood story I was really connected to. But then also like being around a strong, opinionated, fabulous, lovable, prickly,
gay man.
Yeah, man. that was, but who you are, I think it's important to see, I think at a certain age you're allowed to be as vocal and honest as you can be. And I love that about you, and it was great to be around you. I didn't know what to expect. Some days, there's no middle. There's no middle.
Oh,
and that's how you are. Sometimes you're all hugs. Sometimes it's like, what's going on with Maurice today? But you have to love people like this. I mean, he's...
And also, it's very important for me to give back to the business that's been so wonderful to me and my brother and my family. And that's why when I discovered the Manzari brothers at the end, it was like God did that. God, the man upstairs knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing, and they're with me in my show now. I do my one-man show all over, and aren't we do the work someplace soon?
They have a show next week. Maurice is still active. Maurice has a show. You have NJ Pack. We have some flyers too on the way out.
Yeah.
Where's Love and Mariah? Come up here for a second. I want to show these great T-shirts we have. But they're going to hand out some flyers if you want to know about their show. Your show on the 13th. Okay. And you saw that him teaching. That was only 6 months ago. The thing at the Bushnell.
Yeah.
So he's not slow. He doesn't miss a step. But I was curious about the Manzaris. Like seeing the Hines brothers and seeing them now. Seeing the ups and downs of that. What did you take? Oh, by the way, just real quick, these fashionable shirts. How you like those? All right. Thank you. How you like those shirts?
And they modeled them beautifully.
Thank you. We'll hand out some flyers later, and we can, if you're interested in the shirts. Okay, so
how old were you guys when I first met you?
We first met Mr. Hines when I was 14, which was 10 years ago. Yep, 10 years.
Yeah, right. So we've known each other 10 years. And they are spectacular. They are, oh my God.
May I just say something real quick? Watching this film put a lot of things in perspective for me, because in the 10 years that I've known you, Mr. Hines, I've obviously been in awe of you, and I've obviously just been so grateful to be around you. And the fact that we're even able to be in your presence, I know you say that we've only been a part of the third act of your career, the third act of your life, but the 10 years of experience that I've had with you is gonna fuel me for the rest of my life. For real.
Thank you so much. When I was looking at the movie, looking at all the stuff and the clips and everything, it brought me back to my brother. My brother, to me, was the greatest dancer that I'd ever been around, because he just had everything. He's certainly gorgeous to look at, beautiful, just beautiful to look at. And then his ability as an improvisationalist, besides learning choreography, was beyond anything. And he was a drummer. He thought in syncopation. He was just phenomenal to me. And I was like that. My mother said I was like that when he was born. She said they brought him home, and he was my baby. She would say he was my baby, and he was always fabulous, no matter what he did. And it's hard for me to watch him and know that he's not here with me. It's very hard, you see. But I feel his presence with me so often now that I'm older, and I can just be alone a lot of the time, and I can feel it with me, telling me, Maurice, watch your mouth. My mouth is real bad. Watch your mouth, Maurice, now you know how you are. And he would always just be there. And I'm so grateful to this film and to what you've done, you know, what you've done.
Can I just say one thing? We weren't sure if Maurice would even watch this film. He told me through the whole production, I'm not gonna see this, I'm not gonna watch this. And I was like, you know. And honestly, it took us a year to get to your apartment. You were like, I'm very private. And then when I do get to his apartment, you're with no pants on. So there was all.
Well, my buns were fierce. My buns were fierce.
You got great legs, Maurice. But you.
And John, watching this, Cheryl was his daughter's on one side, Mel was on the other side. I was behind him because we were trying to prevent him from running out.
Yeah, we didn't know the Q&A would be reversed. What was that about?
I thank you all for coming. I really appreciate you all for coming. I'm very honored that you were here. I really am. You know, oh yeah, you got any questions? She said, if you got a question, I answer anything. At 75, I ain't afraid to say nothing. Yeah.
Be sure to vote.
Oh, vote for, this is up for, vote for the best picture in the festival.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. What?
In the center somewhere, I think we got to ask you that.
Do what?
Did you take your pills today?
Oh, yeah. That's my cousin Richard back there. And yes, I did, Richard. I took my pills. I have these, at 75, I'm starting to have little memory problems. So I have these memory pills I got to take. Sometimes I don't want to take them because I don't want to remember too much, you know. But yes, Richard, I took my pills today. My cousin. Very good.
Any other questions?
Mr. Hines, thank you for the overall contribution of your career. I'm a performing artist, and I've looked up to you for a long time, and this movie is a triumph. I just wanted to know if you would share some of the artists that you enjoy watching today.
Today?
Yes, sir.
Ooh.
Or in general.
Yeah, I don't know about today. I was a big fan of Diana Ross.
Yeah.
I like her. She's really, she just, to me, she was like, sort of almost like Lena Horne, that kind of thing. You wanted to look at her.
Yeah.
And, I don't know too many.
You said enough, Diana.
Yeah, I mean, she really was. Yeah.
Right there.
What?
You want to pick them? Next one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite drummer?
My favorite drummer? Wow. Well, my brother was spectacular. He really was. You didn't see enough. He was a great solo drummer too. The greatest drummer that Gregory and I ever worked with was Buddy Rich in Las Vegas. And then Sonny Payne when we worked with Count Basie in Chicago. He was also another great drummer. We knew a lot of drummers. My father was a drummer too, so we got a chance to meet him. I said, but of all the artists, I must say, that we ever worked with, and we worked with Sammy, and we had Sammy Davis, and we had a chance to meet Mr. Sinatra. My favorite artist that we ever worked with was Lena Horne. Mm-hmm. That was my favorite. Because to me, she was perfection. It was like, she was just perfection, and everything about her. So, and they were great people that we were very lucky in our life. We did meet Maurice Chevalier in Paris, so we met Zizi Jarmin, the great ballerina, and we worked with Charles Aznavour in Paris, so when they all came to see him, and we had a chance to meet these great people. We're very, very lucky in our lives, Gregory and I, and very grateful to meet those people. Charles Aznavour was wonderful to us. At the Olympia Theater, we played there for 2 months, and we worked in London at the Palladium, and we had a great career. Gregory and I were very, very lucky, and And we had a little talent.
We have time for one last question. I'm going to go ahead.
I have a question for you, sir. What moment or what performance happened in your life and you realized you all had made it?
When did you realize that you made it?
Great question. When we did the Apollo Theater. And we had done the amateur night. And we weren't allowed to be in the competition because Ruth Brown said, Ruth Brown was the star. Great singer, Ruth Brown. Great singer. Great, legendary. And she said, she didn't know we really could tap. She knew Henry Latang, our teacher. So they put us on at the end of the amateur night because she said they're cute and they'll win because they're cute. But she didn't know we really could dance. And she said, oh, they really could dance. Well, put them on next week with me. I'm coming on here next time. I'm gonna come do 2 weeks after. You put them on next. And that's when we knew the Apollo audience, they don't play, baby. So when we were nervous and we scored on the amateur and we played a week with her, and then we did it for almost, we played the Apollo 9 times. It was one of the great moments of my life. There's nothing like the Apollo audience. There was nothing like it. Especially in the 50s, it was 1955. So it's a long time ago, but it was a great time in our life. It's all coming back to me when you ask those questions, you know? And to meet all those people, to meet Sarah Vaughan, you know, those are great artists. And they never thought of themselves. I used to tell, I remember, I've got to tell the story. I got to tell the story. Well, in Las Vegas, all the stars came to see Ella Fitzgerald. Now we're opening for Ella. So Ella one night, she says, okay, I want you to come. I know you don't like to stay at the second show. You want to go back home. I want you to stay and meet a real good friend of mine. He's my neighbor in Hollywood. I'm not going to tell you who he is. Come stay after the show. So she finishes, so she does Mac the Knife, it's her last song. Okay, so we go in the room, she knock on the door. Ella says, come in boys, I want you to be one of my best friends. And it was Cary Grant. And he looked like Cary Grant. And he was so wonderful. So when you meet those, and it's so humble, you know, they don't make stuff like that. He used to say that, and it's so true. He was so delightful. Oh, you boys are wonderful, wonderful, talking like Cary Grant talk, you know? And Ella and Cary used to have, he lived near her, so she would make him breakfast. And then he would go to her, and then she would go to his house, he'd make her breakfast. So it's the vision of that, of Cary Grant making breakfast for Ella Fitzgerald, you know? And then we had, I gotta tell you this, we had the great, I know people are wondering, I know. I'll tell you one last story. One more story. We're working with Charles Aznavour in Paris. So Charles is wonderful. He's wonderful, they're packed house, because he's like the Frank Sinatra of Paris. So he says, you guys, I know you guys leave right away, because there was always an intermission. We closed the first half and then intermission. I want you to stay. A friend of mine is here to see the show, and I want you to come back and to meet her. She's a great French star. I said, okay, Mother Daddy said, okay, there you go. And we come back in the room, and who is it? Josephine Baker. And she was everything they said, baby. We talk about larger than life. I mean, just, you know, so I'm so grateful in my life. I'm grateful that you all came to see this film. I don't really intend to do show business too much in the Lord 75. I'll do a few things, but I thank you all for coming. I thank this gentleman for doing it. I thank all my friends that are here, Charles and Mel. I mean, these are my buddies, you know? And I thank you for loving my brother, my wonderful brother. And, you know, one day we'll meet again. I'm 75, I'm set to live forever, you know? And I'm gonna see him again, and just visualize Gregory and I tapping together again.
On that note, I say, Maurice, it's been such a pleasure to get to know you and for us to capture your story and for people to be introduced and reintroduced to you.
Right.
And so we're so happy.
And as much as you give the love to Gregory, we all love you. That's what I hope at the end of the film you understood that your community, and hopefully you get to the point of more self-love, that all these people around you love you. And you don't have to keep passing it off to Gregory. All right? We love you.
I know.
Thank you all very much.